And we are back. We are online. Okay, making sure that sound is still in sync. Making sure all of our sound effects are in sync, are all together, all working in concert with each other. But anyway, hello there, hello, happy Friday night. Happy Friday wherever you are, whenever you are, whoever you are. It is I, the Professor of Pugilism, the Archduke of Old School, the Lord of the Soup, the Man of the Hour, the Tower of Power too sweet to be sour, Poncho Smith here. Welcome in, welcome back, and we're jumping right back into PARANORMASIGHT, the Mermaid's Curse. Actually, let me check this, because we did get some new birdie stickers. Okay. So I think this was the newest edition from when he streamed on Sunday night, I believe. Okay, so this duck, Mockingbird 14, Mandarin duck, female, Maverick Mandy. The darling of the Bamboo Breakers dance team, as fickle as she is flirtatious, her tendency to toy with birds other than her current beau causes relationships within the team to become more tangled by the day. Her heart is easily stolen by birds with unexpected sides, and the most recent objects of her affection include a bad boy with a cute face and a girl who dominates the dance floor with her tempestuous moves. Okay, so I believe... Okay, so we've got this duck here. So she's romantically involved with that duck. And perhaps some others. Probably you. I don't know, she's just tossing the tail to anyone who strikes her fancy. Okay. Last time around we were hit with some pretty big revelations. With, particularly as they, in regards to Sato here. She got her hands on some mermaid flesh a long time ago. And she is one of those 800-year immortals. So now we're gonna take a look at the... How you doing? How you doing? Happy Friday night, we a biscuit. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm assuming it's Friday night in your time zone. Because I do speak with a number of other people from, you know, other parts of the globe, so the time zones don't always align. I'm just assuming that to be the case in your location. If I am mistaken, I apologize, but, you know, I hope everyone's doing East Coast. Okay, understood. Okay, so, alright, gotcha, good. Message read, loud and clear. Alright, so anyway, let's pick up with Sato here. With the segment called Shadow. That's the one we have available to us. Okay, so Sato Shiranami. The slash from the curse leaves Sato with a large wound on her chest. She dies, but only for a moment. Remember, the immortals resurrect. At least under these circumstances, the mermaid flesh-eating ones. That is their gift, and that is their curse. She dies, but only for a moment. And then resurrects in front of everyone, revealing that she is no normal person. She escapes in a panic, unsure of what will happen next. Yeah, because that's starting to happen now. The curse is going around, it's taking people out. So let's get right into this. August 7th, 1980X, night at the Kameshima Wakamura residence. Huh? Was I asleep? Oh, right. I got attacked out of nowhere right in the middle of Chuo Street. Every time I come back to life, my head's always foggy, and my memory's all over the place. Let's see. After I was cut down, everyone saw me resurrect, so I panicked and started running around trying to hide. But in the end, Mr. Wakamura found me. He told me to stay put in the house and keep my head down. Sounds like things are getting pretty chaotic on the island, all because of me. Apparently, Mr. Wakamura told everyone he would handle it, which helped smooth things over. What now? Uh-oh.
It's already pitch black outside. It's quiet. Too quiet.
Yeah, famous last words.
It's putting me on edge.
Anything else we can look at here? Let's take a gander. Don't want to miss anything.
No signs of anyone out there. I wonder where Mr. Wakamura is.
Okay. Them the boots. And I don't believe there's another sticker we can grab.
The phone's quiet now. Let's hope it stays that way.
Alright. Up and down. I'm assuming it's one sticker per screen. Because I'm under the... That's how it was last time, right? In the previous game.
Kamoshin Maru's still in his usual spot. It's weirdly reassuring to see him.
Okay, already pitch black outside. Let's do the thinky think.
So now everyone knows I can't die. Be that as it may, I've still got something I need to do. This is it. Time to see it through. Today's been so hectic, I need to take a second to gather my thoughts and figure out what comes next.
Let's think of the curse of the raging waves.
Right now, over the southern sea of Kamishima, the curse of the raging waves is creating a huge storm that has started to churn the sea.
Churn the sea.
They say it can whip up a violent storm without warning, the kind that can flip a boat in an instant. Mr. Wakamura plans to hand me over to Unkaka Dono to find a way to stop the curse. The handover is supposed to happen tomorrow. But Shotaro is against that plan. This morning he'd ask if I run away with him, escape the island, and flee to Tokyo. Oh yeah, I still haven't given him an answer. I'm sorry, but I have my reasons I can't go with Shotaro. As for how to actually stop the curse of the raging waves, the information Suyo gave us this afternoon might help. I should go over it again to get everything straight.
Okay, well, we'll sit down to the information.
Earlier today, after Mr. Wakamura told me to wait here, we snuck outside and went to talk to Suyu. We learned some rather important info there.
Are you kidding me? Wakamura's fixing to hand you over to someone to try and break the curse of the raging waves? Treating people like they're nothing but tools, that's just plain awful.
Exactly, but if we can't figure out a way to lift the curse ourselves, and maybe it won't come to that.
If you know anything about the curse of the raging waves, please, we need your help.
Well, of course, I don't know what I'd do with myself if we lost you, Sato. Well, reckon it's fine to tell you. I was about to tell Yuza and Azami later anyway. Come on, you two. I've got something to show you. I promised I'd tell Yuza and Azami tonight, but there's something I need to check, so I'll fill you two in first.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Trying to get that throat muscle memory. Oh, okay. Oh, she thought we were special enough to bring us here.
Ah, there it is, just as I remember it.
Suyu, are you sure you're okay to be climbing these rocks with your injured leg?
Oh, don't you worry about me. Still got a few tricks left in these old bones. Truth is, I put together a little shrine behind these rocks. Nobody else knows it's here, so it's been hidden here for ages now. Really? There was a shrine all the way out here? Ooh, is this one of those bronze mirrors? I think I saw one in my history textbook once. It's kind of old and worn, but it's so small and cute. It's a beauty, all right, but there's a lot more to it than it looks.
Okay, maybe I should look around here.
The sound of crashing waves and the distant roar of the sea fills the air. The weather's so nice, and yet something about it has me on edge.
Let's see, any... Where would I potentially find a sticker? Seems like they did not vandalize the coastline.
Yeah, let's see what Tsuyu has to say.
Having Sakasa here with me means more than I can say. How far will she follow me in all this, I wonder?
Okay.
Even out here, Tsuyu remains her usual calm, unshakable self. Unfortunately, that only makes it harder to tell where the jokes end and the serious talk begins. I think I may have picked up a bit of that from her.
Okay. Nothing in the sky. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's a sticker here to find.
Tsuyu, what exactly is that mirror?
This here used to belong to Mare, Yuza's mother. Wait, Yuza's ma? Well, to be precise, Mare found it at the bottom of the old well after she came to Kamishima.
The old well? That's where this bronze mirror came from?
Sure is. Though I don't know much beyond that, I'm afraid. Anywho, she said we had to keep it enshrined somewhere that overlooked the southern sea, so we tucked it away back here. It was back here, even back when Mare was still alive, so that's gotta be near 20 years now.
That's a long time.
So, does that mirror have some connection to the curse of the raging waves? Sure does. Listen, all I'm about to tell you is just what Mara once told me. But I trusted her with all my heart, so I'll speak as if I know it all to be true.
Yes, of course.
This curse of the raging waves isn't some tiny little curse that someone can just throw out whenever they like. It's a massive curse that's been churning down off the southern coast of Kamishima for a good 400 years now, non-stop. Wait, seriously? If that's true, wouldn't there be a huge storm all the time? There's the thing, the curse has been sealed away all this time, held back. All because of a sacrifice offered up 400 years ago. A sacrifice? Yes, a real sacrifice. You don't mean, like, symbolically? You're saying that someone was actually sacrificed to keep the curse at bay? Exactly. Many, many years ago, someone made the ultimate sacrifice, but thanks to that, the source of the curse was sealed away. And this here bronze mirror supposedly belonged to the very person who was sacrificed. No way! The thing is, even with that sacrifice, after 400 years, the effects that held back the curse are getting weaker and weaker. Wait, really? So in other words, now that the curse is overpowering its seal, the curse of the raging waves could be set loose again? That's how it seems. But at the same time, it seems the curse itself has become a lot weaker over the last 400 years. Even with the seal wearing thin, the power of this bronze mirror has been able to keep it at bay. It's managed to hold back the curse of the raging waves for the past 10 or so years. The mirror doesn't hold a candle to the real sacrifice, but still, it's got enough power to suppress the curse. Right, so if it wasn't for that mirror, the curse might have already swallowed up the island.
But if that's the case, Mari wasn't a curse bearer trying to unleash the curse at all. In fact, she was the complete opposite. She found the mirror and was trying to hold it back, right?
Well, that's true, but it ain't quite the whole story.
What do you mean?
To explain what I mean, I need to tell you about where Mari came from. I thought no one knew where she came from. Sorry for keeping it from you. The truth is, Mari was a descendant of a place called Taishima, an island that was wiped off the map long ago. Wait a sec. Taishima? Isn't that the place where the curse of the raging waves started after it got invaded or something? That's the one.
Hold on. I heard that Mari was a descendant of the people who destroyed Taishima, that she was the one who brought the curse.
Quite the opposite. Her ancestors were the ones being destroyed. Well, dang, that sure changes the story.
But what does that mean exactly?
Mara told me that folks from Taishima passed down a duty from generation to generation. A duty? She said it would be 400 years since the disaster during her generation, and that she meant she had to be the one to see it through. To carry out that duty first, the curse of the raging waves had to be removed once and for all. They need to wait for the curse to weaken, and so many a generation passed for that to happen. So the duty wasn't just to stop the curse, that was just the first step? Right. Mara came to Kamishima because she was meant to fulfill that duty. Apparently, she spent years waiting on the island, watching for a sign that the curse was starting to weaken. Eventually, she ended up marrying my little Tosuke, but it seems that was never part of the plan. She often used to chuckle about it, saying that you never know when or where fate will bring someone into your life. I had no idea. Then we come to 5 years ago. 395 years since the curse of the raging waves had begun, she said the time had finally come. That curse was now weak enough. I still remember her saying how, if she offered the mirror now, she could remove the curse for good. She could complete her duty.
Remove the curse for good?
Well, even hearing all that, I was still only half convinced that the curse wasn't just an old folk tale. Yeah, I don't think anyone can blame you.
So, then, what exactly was her duty?
You said you'd only tell me once it was all over and done with.
Oh, right. The Southern Sea disaster.
In the end, I never got to hear what her duty was. Mara was taken by the sea before she could tell me. After that disaster, I was a mess inside. Couldn't think straight for ages.
Well, not 395 years ages, but maybe it felt that long to you, see you.
But now, with all this going on, I figured it was time I finally talked about what happened. That day, 5 years ago, out of the blue, Mari suddenly said the time had come. She headed out to sea, bronze mirror in hand, ready to end the curse once and for all. But you know the rest. I reckon she failed to do it.
She failed?
And that triggered the storm and the whole disaster? That's how it looks. Thinking back, it hadn't quite been 400 years yet. Maybe she rushed it. Felt like time was running out. I think she tried to end it and the curse just lashed back, causing the tragedy. I know folks want to blame her, but I could never really say anything to stop them. One curious thing, though, Mari took out this bronze mirror with her when she set out. But when Yuza was the only one found alive, he had the mirror on him. Maybe that's what saved him, just him, by some miracle. At the very least, I'm grateful that he came back safe. Yeah, when they found Yuza that day, I remember bawling my eyes out. I was so relieved. After that, I offered a little prayer of thanks to the mirror and quietly returned it to the shrine in the bay. For the next 5 years, there was no sign of the raging waves. Everything stayed calm, up until now. That does explain a lot. But there's still one thing I can't quite make sense of.
What's that?
I know she took Tosuke with her as he was the one who handled the boat, but I never understood why she'd take little Yuza with her, too. Yeah, that is a bit odd. Yuza says he doesn't remember a thing, so we'll probably never know the truth. Not to mention Mara's so-called duty is also still remains a mystery. All that's left of this bronze mirror in 5 long years since then.
Darn.
I kept hoping that maybe, just maybe, the curse of the raging waves would fade away on its own. But now they say it's grown stronger again, and I have to say the despair is setting in. Okay, so something just came to mind. What is it, Tsukasa? Yuza is Mari's son, right? So that means he's also a descendant of Taishima. What if Mari passed on the duty to him, taught him how to deal with the curse?
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe she brought Yuza along just in case things didn't go as planned, to carry things on if she couldn't. Now that you say it, that actually makes a lot of sense. Truth is, I've been wondering if that boy's starting to remember something. Oh? It's not exactly an easy thing to bring up to him, you know. But since we're finally talking about all this, I figure it's time I ask him straight. I see. Though, honestly, Yuza couldn't hide anything from anyone, let alone us. I thought the same. That boy's as transparent as glass. So, listen, Sato. You need to tell him there's no need to rush all this nonsense. The bronze mirror's holding the curse of the raging waves back for now. Yeah, maybe Yuza actually knows how to get rid of the curse with that mirror.
Yeah. But it didn't work for Mari. Not with the bronze mirror alone. The curse is still out there, so maybe it really does need me to, you know.
Sato, you okay? You're acting kinda weird.
Thank you, Suyu, for telling us all of this. I think it's time I told both you something, too. I actually remembered something the other day about who I used to be.
Wait, you mean you remembered even more?
Yeah, sorry I didn't say anything sooner. I guess I'll just spill it. The one who was sacrificed here 400 years ago, that was me.
Dun 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 dun.
Huh? What? Wait, hold on. 400 years ago? You pulling my leg at a time like this?
No, you see, the truth is...
Well, I'll be. So you're telling me you're immortal? You promise you ain't pulling my leg. This one's a bit hard to swallow.
I think the reason the curse is getting stronger is because I woke up 3 months ago after sleeping deep down on the seafloor. I think me waking up weakened the seal that was holding the curse back.
Well, wait.
Oh, she's got that one big goddamn chipmunk tooth. Why did they draw her like that? Goddamn. Hold on. Another sippy sip.
So, when you said you'd been asleep for hundreds of years, you meant you were actually a sacrifice at the bottom of the ocean? That's awful!
That's right. I was sacrificed to seal the curse at its source. It wasn't to remove it, though. It was just a way to keep it from seeping out.
Seepage.
It was just a temporary fix, a stopgap until someone found a way to remove it for good. That said, it did last 400 years, I suppose.
That's half your allotted immortality time.
That's hard to even imagine.
But after those 400 years, the curse was supposed to have weakened. And the way to end it should have been passed down.
You mean by Mari?
I guess she never had the chance.
Maybe there's a chance that she did pass something on to Yuza?
Hold on. Oh. Don't want to... Oh, I need another sip. Okay.
Maybe, but if she didn't... that would mean that I have to be the sacrifice again!
Wow, no, Sato! That's not how it has to be!
That has to be the reason I'm immortal!
Sato!
I never should have woken up! Everyone took me in! Everyone here took me in, even though I didn't remember a thing! I didn't want to lose all that warmth, so I kept it quiet. I'm so sorry!
Fucking Tsukasa. It just cannot. It just falling the fuck apart, ugly crying in the back.
But if it comes to it, I'll take responsibility. I'll be the sacrifice again.
No, Sato, don't talk like that. You already protected us for 400 years. That's more than enough. I refuse to let you go through that again. There has to be a reason that you woke up now. You weren't needed to seal the curse anymore. I know it. She's right. We'll find a way to keep you safe through this, Sato.
Much emotions. Ooh, update it. Open the updates. What do we got? What do we got? Okay, so it looks like we got some updates to the Curse of Raging Waves. A curse that causes an outbreak of turbulent waves and turbulent storms. Okay, the person accused of bringing the Curse of Kamishima was called the Raging Waves Curse Bearer. In truth, the curse has been perpetually active ever since its inception. The sacrifice offered 400 years ago merely served to seal the source of the calamity during this time. It is believed that Mari Minakuchi attempted to lift the curse once and for all, only for her failure to give rise to the disaster 5 years ago. Yeah. Okay, so we've been over that. Okay.
I got a bit overwhelmed back there. But Tsuyu and Tsukasa both told me there was no need for me to be the sacrifice. Still, I can't help but feel I have to do something. Of course, if there's anything I can do to avoid being sacrificed, I'll do it.
Let's see, so we did that flashback. As we go back to the thinky think part.
After talking with Tsuyu, we put the bronze mirror back in the shrine. With the curse so unstable right now, moving it away from the shrine seemed like a bad idea. Tsuyu said she plans to tell Yuza and Izami the same thing she told me.
I almost said Amazaki. That's It's not a Tenchi Muyo character, but it sounds similar to the name of a Tenchi Muyo character. Azaka Kamadake! Yeah.
And if that leads to anything new, they'd let us know. That bronze mirror definitely was something I owned a really long time ago. I never imagined it held power strong enough to suppress a curse, though. But even offering it up didn't fully get rid of the curse of the raging waves, which means there must be some other condition that wasn't met. The real key to ending the curse has to be tied to something or someone related to Mare. Hopefully Tsuyu will be able to tell the others more about that. That said, it's possible Unkakudono already has that exact same information.
A threatening phone call.
Earlier today I got a creepy call demanding I turn myself in. They said if I didn't comply, an assassin with a curse would start killing people. I didn't go. And sure enough, later that evening, I was struck out of nowhere by some invisible slash and killed. Whoever did it was probably testing whether I'd really come back to life, while also showing off their power, all in one go. And it worked perfectly. The island went into panic with people both terrified of me for not dying and of the one who attacked me. If it was really an assassin mixed in among the locals that use a curse to do all that, we're in serious trouble. A curse that can kill someone instantly from a distance? That's not just dangerous, it's terrifying. None of the curses I've ever known worked like that. They were never that convenient or all-powerful. They say that when you curse someone, you're cursing yourself as well. Using a curse always comes with risks or with strict conditions. To target me so precisely, in that exact moment and place, from somewhere I couldn't even see? There must have been some really specific conditions to pull it off. I should try to recall the curse slash that hit me, and see if there is anything else I can remember.
Slashing curse.
That attack, it was brutal. I changed clothes and the wound's gone now, but I can't stop the cold sweat. My body still remembers the pain. But I'm the only one who can get to the bottom of this curse. I need to think back. Remember exactly what happened when I was cursed. There has to be some kind of clue. Was there any sign? Anything at all before I was struck? Wait, that's right. Just before I was slashed, I saw something reflected in the hand mirror. A mysterious shadow. If I remember correctly, it looked like a warrior in armor, carrying a sword. Wait a second, could it be? Was that the curse of the Hike I heard about yesterday?
Okay, past recollection chapter available. Okay, that's for Yumeko. I think we gotta fill out some other back chapters. Yeah, because that's come up, the curse of the Hike, or the Hike people.
A curse that delivers a single hate-fueled strike from a sword. And its shadow was already there before I was hit, which means, if I can spot that armored warrior's shadow again, it would mean the assassin using the curse should be nearby. Damn it, I should have asked more questions yesterday. That cursed shadow. It showed up in the mirror, but when I turned around, there was nothing there. Does that mean it's only visible in mirrors? If that's true, I might be able to use this Kamishimaru hand mirror to spot the shadow before the curse strikes. I should go looking for it with the mirror. Maybe I should practice a bit. It seems that Mr. Wakamura still hasn't figured out who the assassin is either. Whoever they are blending in with the locals and triggering the curse with ease. As far as I know, only a psychic with a powerful spirit sense could use a curse like that. Is there really someone like that on this island? The killing definitely won't stop with just the attack on me. Even the man on the phone was ranting about killing everyone off, one by one. But at least for the moment it seems pretty quiet outside. Still, there's no telling when it'll start. If that caller can really wield a curse, maybe turning them down wasn't the smartest move. And again, there was no way I was just going to hand myself over. And like Shotaro said, there's also the chance the caller was working for Unkakudono. Let's try using the mirror, just a little test. Okay, here goes.
Alright. Let's gradually go up and down. Okay, we can see her eye. I wonder if she blinks. We can get her to blink at any point.
Yeah, it looks like I can use this mirror to search for things behind me. Let's do a little practice first. Let's try reflecting the flag. Okay. Find the flag. Take a closer look in the mirror. Oh, there you are, Kamishimaru. Okay, this works. Okay, if I can catch the shadow. Okay. One problem. If anyone on the island sees me now, it'll just cause more panic. I'll have to stay hidden while I move around. I guess for now I just need to do whatever I can. If I can find that armored shadow again, maybe I can at least deal with that curse. I'll have to try to avoid places with lots of people around, though.
Okay. Guess we can go to the bay. There shouldn't be too many people by the bay.
This area seems pretty empty. Time to take a look around while I have the chance.
A mirror mechanic.
Let's find the shadow.
Wait. There you go. Gotcha, bitch.
What the? It's there! I saw it! As I thought, I can't see anything directly, but it was right there, right by those rocks. Which means the assassin should be nearby. Wait, didn't Tsuyu say she was meeting Yuza and Azami here later? I should look around quickly before anyone shows up.
Okay, who the fuck is that?
Huh? Who's that? Damn it, they took off. Wait! Ah, damn it, I lost them. Well, someone as out of shape as me never had a chance to catch up. I don't even know if they went this way. This is hopeless. Damn, I'm completely out of breath. I didn't think this far ahead. What did I think I was gonna do if I actually found someone? Anyway, running around in the dark isn't gonna get me anywhere. But I did see that shadow again, along with someone suspicious nearby. Taking off like that the second I saw them is just about the most obviously suspicious thing they could have done. That pretty much confirms there is an assassin using a curse to attack people on the island, just like that phone caller threatened. But even if that's the case, is there anything I can do to stop it? I mean, I'm not exactly built to fight. I'm pretty sure I'd lose to just about anyone. I can't do this alone. I have to find someone to help me. But who can I even ask at a time like Shotaro? Wait, hang on.
Oh, okay, that. Oh, alright, this segment.
Wasn't Tsuyu supposed to be meeting Yuza and Azami down by the bay? Oh, please, no! I've got to get back and warn her now! I can't breathe. So out of shape. I'm here. Barely. Ah, fuck me sideways. No, 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 no! Tsuyu, wake up! Was I too late? No, this isn't happening! Wait, what about Yuza and Azami? Weren't they supposed to meet her here? There are footprints. Maybe they ran to get help already? Tsuyu! No, this is the same wound as mine. It's hopeless. She would have died in an instant. There's nothing anyone can do. I'm so sorry. I'll come back, though. I'll make sure you're properly laid to rest.
Yeah, cold comfort there, babe.
After that...
Oh, okay, narration time. After that, Sato returned to the island city center, which had turned into a living nightmare. Countless others had already fallen victim to the curse. Bloodied bodies lay scattered across the ground. People fled in panic, screaming and confused. Some turned on others, shouting wild accusations. Others broke down, wailing in helpless hysteria. Many clung to lifeless loved ones, crying in despair. In the midst of the chaos, not a single person paid Sato any mind. Sato Shiranami wandered through the devastation, overcome with guilt. If she had only done more, maybe this tragedy could have been prevented.
If I had just listened. If I had just done what the damn phone caller had told me, none of this would have happened. This is all my fault. It's all because I dared to hope. Hope that I could keep on living. This is all wrong. I was never supposed to be here. It's all wrong. This body, this life, maybe it's better if it just ends. I'll surrender to the assassin right now. If that stops any more people from getting hurt. There's a pool of fresh blood. Someone must have collapsed here, too.
Wait, they wouldn't have me pick up a duck sticker here. Oh. Hi.
Mr. Wakamura, where did...
Sato! Where is Tsukasa? Tell me where Tsukasa Wow is right now.
Huh? Tsukasa? Why Tsukasa?
Can't believe I missed it. I figured Unkakadono had a couple of secret kids stashed somewhere. But Tsukasa Wow, she was one all along. You lot been keeping it a secret from the start.
What are you talking about?
That goddamn assassin's gotta be working for Unkakadono. It has to be her. Where is she? Gotta get my hands on her and put an end to this mess. Stop wasting time and talk.
Oh. Where'd she say she was going? Wait, Kante... That was the... That was the hiding place, right? That was... Oh, the ruins. Okay, okay. See, if I... This is like the default hiding place that no one goes to.
If she's hiding, she's probably at the Kantakisha ruins. But I can't tell him that. If he gets there first, Tsukasa will be in trouble.
Yeah, we got butt thou mustard.
I think she's down by the southern bay.
The bay got it.
That was close. I've got to find Tsukasa before he doesn't warn her. No time to waste.
Oh yeah, because she's she's the Unkakadono's bastard child.
Someone's here. What the hell?
Oh, Sato! Sato! Yuza just...
Both of you need to get out of here! It's dangerous here! Hurry!
But what about Yuza?
There's no time, just go!
Russell, 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 run. Okay. Ooh. The tragedy of Kamishima. See, I guess before I unlock any more stuff with, Yumeko. Okay, let's wrap up with, I think this is let's end this thread, I guess. Oh yeah, he should already be dead. Memories of the last... Well, this seems like it's a little out of line, because if he's already dead here, then what's happening... Oh, let's just do this. Mysterious deaths continue to occur amongst the island's residents. It is not too long before the same tragedy befalls Yuza. Azami and the others are left helpless and overwhelmed by grief. Well, let's see if Tsukasa really is a turncoat. Kamishima Lighthouse.
Damn it! What the hell is going on? What the fuck happened to you, Yuza? How could you just die like that? Out of nowhere, bro! You managed to live through the disaster 5 years ago just to die like this? And still, the whole island turned on you. Blamed your mom for everything. They rejected you even when you said you wanted to become an Ama diver. What the hell did you ever do to deserve that? But you never once complained, just kept going on like it was nothing. You did everything right. Someone like you deserves so much better. You deserve to be happy, damn it! I would have done anything to make that happen. And yet I couldn't do a damn thing. I'm sorry, man. I'm so damn sorry, Yuza. This shouldn't have been the way for you to go. How could the gods think this is fair? How?
Hey, Tsukasa? Sorry, I know this is a terrible time. But there's something important I need to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Yeah, he's not doing too great.
I should leave him be for now.
He ain't doing so hot. It doesn't look like they got a sticker for me here, I don't believe.
There aren't many people around here, so it's nothing like the chaos in town. It's so quiet here, it almost feels like that whole nightmare earlier was just a dream. If only that were true.
Okay.
Try to stay calm and listen, okay?
Hmm?
I spoke to Mr. Wakamura earlier. Apparently, this Unkakadono person might actually be your father.
Huh? Wait, what? Wait, are you serious? You're saying my pa, Yamashina, is Unkakadono?
That's what he said. Not sure if it's true or not. But Mr. Wakamura's already made up his mind. He's convinced that makes you the assassin. If he finds you, who knows what he'll do?
That's crazy talk. Me? An assassin? Come on, that makes no sense.
I know, I don't believe it either. That's why we need to find the real assassin as soon as possible.
Yeah, but easier said than done. Sato, Suyu's gone, and so is Yuza.
Yeah, I never thought it would come to this.
I'm scared. What are we supposed to do now?
I didn't manage to find out any more about the curse of the raging waves, but right now we have to find the assassin. Earlier down by the bay, I saw the curse shadow again, as well as someone running away. Wait, the shadow!
Huh?
Sorry, I need to check something curse-related real quick.
The curse? Oh, right, earlier,
Huh? What is it? Are you trying to remember something? I know I can check with the hand mirror to make sure the shadow isn't nearby.
Alright, okay, so that's Azami. Wait, hold on. Why can't I see her?
Damn it, what was it? I can't remember.
Whoa, don't scare me like that. Tsukasa, what's the matter?
Oh, I guess the shock has made me forget. Right before it happened, Yuza realized something important, but I'm blanking on it now.
Huh? Something important?
Yeah, Yuza said he figured out the condition that the curse needed to affect someone. I swear he said something about people being marked by something, but I can't really remember. He was just about to say who the culprit was, too, and then, well, that happened to him.
Marked?
I can't remember. Just thinking about that moment's making me sick.
Oh no, Tsukasa, it's okay. Don't force yourself to remember.
I won't, but still, I do remember the one thing he said. He thought that the curse could only target women from the island, but now that he was targeted...
Hold on a second. I think I see what he was getting at.
Oh, Mark. Does that mean... Taishima... Wait. Can we talk about Ama Divers? This. Protective symbol. Is this what they're talking about? The protective symbols are the mark of death? Didn't he wear that thing every... Well, maybe not while diving. Hold on.
Sato, did you figure something out?
What is the marker? Hold on. Wait. Files. Traditions. Ryugu. Culture Society. Wait, everyone... Hold on.
A mirror? Oh, that's it! The Kamishimaru hand mirror. It's gotta be that.
I knew it!
Yuza took that mirror out of his pocket right before it happened. He lifted it up, about to his neck, and then his head was chopped off.
And when I was attacked, I had the hand mirror in my jacket pocket, too.
That's gotta be it. Didn't they say those hand mirrors were handed to everyone on the island? Whoa, Azami, you feeling okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry you had to see me like that. But if we're this close to finding who did all this, and there's no time to be moping around. First things first, if either of you still have that mirror, get rid of it now.
Oh, good point.
Yep. So, Sato, you figured it out, haven't you? The one behind this curse?
The assassin.
Okay, the person behind it was the one who was behind giving out all the merchandise. Wait, who was behind the merchandise? Where are they getting all their merch from? I don't know, is there anything that I could find out here?
Oh, no, sorry, I hadn't figured out that much yet.
Well, it was, yeah, it was the one nice southern lady, but she's dead.
Oh, I just figured it out. It had to be whoever handed out those hand mirrors, no?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, so then.
Kikuro, well, we got the mirrors from her.
It has to be Kikuru, right? Kikuko.
You saying she never actually died?
Wait, so you're saying Kikuko was killed too?
Yeah, we saw her laying in a pool of blood by the jetty.
You did? I was just there earlier.
Oh, okay, so the body isn't there anymore.
I remember seeing a large blood stain, but no body.
Really? I guess someone must have moved her.
In all this chaos, who's got time to move a body with everyone panicking like this? Where would they even move her? There are so many dead, we barely have time or space to lay folks down and cover them up.
That's true. Then maybe she never actually died, managed to get up and walk off on her own? She's an immortal! She's another immortal!
But if Kikuko's the assassin, why'd she let herself get hit by the curse's attack? Wait, if she managed to get up from the death? I mean, I doubt it, but maybe she's immortal like you, Sato?
What? No way!
Huh? What was that? You said that so casually, I could have sworn you just said Sato is immortal?
Oh, well... It's kind of a long story, but yeah, that's what it basically boils down to.
So that's what happened earlier. That explains what everyone was talking about.
Still, I don't think there are others like me out there.
You think so? Is it really that rare? I don't really have any frame of reference.
I have another theory that's more likely. Azami, did you get a good look at Kikiko's wounds?
I mean, not really. It was pretty dark out and we were kind of panicking.
Wait, are you saying that maybe she wasn't actually hurt at all?
The most likely explanation is that she got up after faking her death. Maybe she faked being a victim? Maybe she faked being a victim using fake blood or something like that to avoid suspicion.
So she waited for others to see her and just slipped away in the confusion? Oh, guess the cat's out of the bag.
Huh?
Kikiko, you really are alive. Oh, I need a sip for this too.
Yeah, hate to break it to you, but I ain't immortal or anything fancy like that. Just fake blood is all. I was hiding up by the lighthouse and then I heard all you talking, so I figured I may as well come out. Too bad you figured it all out. There really is no turning back for me now. Sato, I was told to bring you in, even if it means killing every last person on the island.
It's the shadow!
Doesn't matter, we already tossed those damn mirrors. The curse can't touch us now.
Just so you know, I got your friend Tsukasa Owl marked even now. You're the one person I cannot forgive. Huh? I am? How?
The cursed target wasn't just tied to the hand mirrors?
Are her glasses a reflective enough surface for the curse to happen? Is that what's... Excuse me. Is that what's going on? She's just bluffing. Sato, get behind me. I'm not letting her take you.
It's pointless. Disobey me and Tsukasa will be the first to die.
We got no fucking choice.
No, I surrender. I'll go with you quietly.
What? Sato, what are you saying? Now is not the time to be joking.
I know. I've made up my mind. I can't let anyone else get killed because of me. There's no resisting this curse. It's too strong.
Sato, no!
Good. Smart choice. Otherwise, everyone on the island would have perished.
Kikiko, why are you doing this?
You grew up here too. Does this place mean nothing to you? I guess I have some feelings for this place. But if I didn't sever those ties, my world would never change.
What the hell are you talking about?
He is the only one who ever sparked a change in my miserable excuse for a life. Now he'll finally acknowledge me. I'll become who I was meant to be. That's your reason for all of this? This island never cared about people, always just blamed everything on curses. Surely y'all understand wanting to destroy this shithole? I just took up the reins. Someone needed to break the cycle. Now I can finally start living my own life, free from all that bullshit. Anyway, we need to get moving. There's a boat waiting out back. If you follow us, I'll kill Tsukasa. Do yourselves a favor and stay right there, okay, y'all?
Thank you, both of you. Please don't try to follow. It's too dangerous.
God damn it.
No, Sato!
Oh, less sad. Much sad.
Unfortunately. I can't have people that know my identity just walking away. Especially not you, Tsukasa.
And she murked her anyway. I guess we get a... the following day, the bodies of Azami Kumoi and Tsukasa Oao were found beneath the lighthouse, collapsed together in a lifeless heap. Azami, who'd been helping search the curse's mark, tried to take Tsukasa's place, but ended up caught in the curse instead. But the tragedy that struck Kamishima didn't end there. Right after the assassin left Kamishima with Sato Shiranami, a new calamity followed. A violent storm, born of the curse of the raging waves, erupted in the seas around the island. As expected, the curse could not be sealed away by the bronze mirror alone. Ferocious winds and towering waves pounded the island for 3 days and nights, leaving devastation in their wake. Most islanders who had tried to flee the tragedy by boat that night were lost to the storm and remain missing to this day. Among them was the assassin behind the incident. Okay, well, she didn't make it out alive. Bitch. Like cold comfort, little solitude. And Sato Shiranami, who went along with her. She was never to be seen again. She went back home and stayed beneath the waves, ending the tragedy of Kamishima. Okay, and we get the quick scroll, the quick credits. Can I make that move faster, I wonder? Nah. Well, you know what, it's going at a brisk enough pace. Okay, let me top off my water real quick. Actually, okay, he's back. Okay, hold on. Gotta do his part, where I put my the jug back.
You have my heartfelt thanks for all your hard work thus far. And so the affair surrounding Kamishima has reached one of its possible conclusions. Sadly, it seems that neither Yuzo Minakuchi nor Sato Shiranami were able to achieve their goals. To avoid arriving at this particular outcome, please continue progressing through the story chart. After all, you came here for that very purpose, did you not? Oh my, are you perhaps still unsure of who you are? No need to worry, I'm confident you'll remember in time. You're just missing a few key pieces. As you travel along the story chart and shape what happens, perhaps you'll remember your part in this. Be sure to think it on as you move forward. Well then, I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Farewell for now.
Now, what was his first underwater gathering? Okay, yeah, it looks like we gotta do the do Avi's stuff in a moment. Hold on. Alright. Alright, let's go... Here, we'll be Avi, we'll be this dude. Or Arnav Barnum. Okay, Arnav Barnum, a cheerful fantasy collector, sets off on a trip to visit the Mermaid, Legends of Isebe, with his relative, Circe Lunarlight, as his guide. Okay. Yeah, I had popcorn chicken this earlier. Not the spicy kind, so hopefully no acid reflux. I learned my lesson. After much hustle and bustle, we finally managed to make our way to Ise Bay. Nice! Take it all in. We're standing on the coast of Nakabeppo in Mie Prefecture's Kawage Town.
Which means this is the Sea of Issei, the connection to the eternal world. How amazing!
Indeed it is. Come, Circe, henceforth begins our grand adventure in search of the legendary mermaids of Issei Bay.
How amazing! I just can't stop saying it!
Without further ado, my name is Arnav Barnum. Who the fuck are you talking to? An American-born fantasy author. Please, call me Avi.
Who are you introducing yourself to, weirdo?
Oh, well, I simply thought a new beginning called for a little dramatic flair, you know.
Sure.
With that out of the way, perhaps my darling guide can provide some insight into the goings-on of this locale.
Sure, I've got you covered.
And we cannot... Oh, surroundings. Okay, that's as far as I can go. Okay,
While this area is now called Nakebeppo, a long time ago it was a region of Issei Province known as Betsuho. Betsuho! Records indicate that 3 mermaids were caught in a fisherman's net along this coast back in the Heian period.
now that's what I'm talking about. Let's hear some more about those mermaids.
They had human heads with the mouths of monkeys and teeth and bodies of fish, and they spoke and even shed tears like humans.
That was her line, right? Okay.
Could these be the fish mermaids you mentioned before, Avi?
Indubitably, yes. This must be the place. I'm getting goosebumps.
Right, I feel the same way. This is so exciting.
La 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 la. Betsuho. Okay, Betsuho is the old name for the area now known as Nakebeppo. Not Bukidebeppo, but Nakebeppo. Kawage Town in the Age district, so named during the events of the story. Since, okay, we've been over that. Ugh. Oh, why am I getting congested now? Said to have been the territory of the Tyranno Kiyomori's father, Tyranno Tamadori. The area has deep connection to the Issei Heike. It is also said to be the location where 3 mermaids were caught in a fisherman's net and presented to Tyranno Tadadori during the Heian period.
The endless expanse of the Issei Sea, the eternal world, may lie just beyond this horizon. After all, Issei Province is the land whither repair the waves from the eternal world.
The eternal world is purported to be a perpetual paradise, a separate plane from the world we live in, yes? Could it be that mermaids hail from such a place? This young lady is a distant relative of mine, the 3rd daughter of the Lunar Light family. The Lunar Lights have been in the business of demonic exorcism in England for over several generations now. As such, young Circe has received education on this rare subject from a young age and is now an apprentice exorcist. In order to continue her training, or more likely simply because of her interest in the area, Circe has come to Japan to study abroad. Upon hearing such news, I sought to employ her as my guide for this mermaid hunting expedition to Issei Bay. She is apparently quite fond of Japanese myths and folk tales, and has already explored a number of areas concerned with the occult. Interested in visiting Mie Prefecture at least once during her stay, she immediately agreed to my request. Okay, so she's the one who kind of... I guess she's... Okay, open updates page. Okay, young exorcist from England, currently on exchange in Japan, possessed of a bold and willful nature. Okay, let's see. Ardent fan of Mio Kurizuzu. Is she... Oh, was she in the other game? Mio. I remember Mio. What was she? Mio here. This is me. Yeah, I had to do that. I had to get that pitch for Mio. Fucking hurt. Okay, not uncommon for her to end up a babbling mess when the topic turns to the other girl. Treasures the photograph she had taken with Mio, meeting her in Tokyo. Okay. So we touched on that. Talk about this place.
Kawage Town might be located next to Mie Prefecture's modern capital, Sioux City, but there's also something you have to keep in mind. This was also the birthplace of the Heike, a branch of the Heian period's preeminent Taira clan. If you're going to talk about Ise Province, then you absolutely have to mention the Heike.
I do have a passing understanding of the topic. The Heike took part in the Genpei War, correct?
That's right, that was the war in the Heian period where two great samurai families, the Minamoto and the Taira, locked horns and really got into it. Among the Heike, Taira no Kiyomori was a particularly famous figure who appears in many creative works concerning the event. His father, Taira no Tadamori, was once responsible for securing the Heike's high social standing. He was the one, he was the big boss man.
So, Tadamori was Kiyomori's father, right? With names like that, how can anyone hope to keep them straight?
Well, that's history for you. I'm afraid you just have to memorize them.
I suppose you're right. Suppose you're right about that. Then memorize them I shall.
Apparently, Tadamori was born in Sioux City in a place called Ubushina.
Ah, so that's why they call this area the birthplace of the Heike. Okay, maybe I should do that. Okay, so they were just adding, they're just adding to stuff. Okay, the birthplace of the Heike, the Ubushina area and its suburbs are said to be where Taira no Kiyomori's father was born. Alright.
This is the metropolitan center of Mie and a locus of historical events. I guess it makes it the perfect place to start a new journey.
Let's talk about the Betsuo mermaids. Can we get back to those mermaids you mentioned? What became of the three that were caught in the fishing nets?
Oh, at that time the lord of the area was Taira no Tadamori. You didn't already forget him, did you? Well, the fisherman thought the mermaids were a fascinating find, so he placed two of them into boxes and presented them to Tadamori.
Oh, Lord Tadamori must have been well pleased by that. How could he not be? It was known that eating the flesh of a mermaid grants eternal life.
Actually, Tadamori evidently said they were disturbing and gross and refused to accept them.
Ugh, what a waste.
However, the fisherman cut up the remaining mermaid and ate it himself.
So, what happened to him?
Well, the fisherman said it was pretty tasty.
Well now, tasty, is it?
And that's all I've got.
That's it?
That's all I could find in existing records.
And the act of eating a mermaid's flesh alone may not produce any results. I suppose there may be other requisite conditions, wouldn't you say?
Well, considering the sheer number of eyewitnesses' reports concerning mermaids, it is odd there aren't more immortals walking around.
Yeah, there is that.
There don't seem to be any records about what happened to the mermaids that the Tadamori refused to accept. I suppose it's possible that someone in the Heike clan snuck off with them.
Now that's a hypothesis I can get behind. Talk about the Heike.
I put together an assortment of files concerning the Heike, so feel free to give them a look if you're interested.
You have my heartfelt gratitude. Okay, so let's go under traditions and history. Hold on. Okay, the Taira no Tadamori, the father of Taira no Kiyomori, an influential figure of the Heian period, was the man responsible for solidifying the social standing of the Ise Taira clan, was notable for being the first samurai permitted to enter the imperial court. Entering the imperial court meant being granted access to the Tenjo Noma chamber, where those who directly serve the emperor perform their official duties. In an era where the warrior class was still considered of low status, a samurai rising to the level of court official was unprecedented. Okay. The Ise Taira clan went on to extend its influence across various provinces, with the vast wealth it gained through trade with the Song dynasty of China solidifying its foundation. This significant influence was later inherited by his son Kiyomori. Tadamori was said to have been a man of strong will and perseverance, yet despite the power he amassed in his lifetime, he was also said to have been modest and disciplined, and disinclined to indulge in luxuries. Nukemaru, Tadamori's sword, an heirloom passed down through the Taira clan, originally named Kogarashi, is said to have been known as Nukemaru when a giant snake emerged from a lake and made to swallow Tadamori whole while he lay resting. At that moment, Kogarashi, which Tadamori had left leaning nearby, slipped from its scabbard of its own accord and drove the snake away. The name Nukemaru derives from the verb nuku, meaning to unsheathe, and reflects on the sword's extraordinary act of slipping from its scabbard on its own to save its owner. Nukemaru was later inherited by Tadamori's son, Yorimori, but after the downfall of the Taira clan, it's said to have changed hands several times, and its whereabouts are currently unknown. One time, when the Tadamori was visiting Betsuo in Ise province, 3 creatures with the heads of humans, the lips of monkeys, and the teeth of bodies of fish. Okay. We've done this already. Gotta sip again. Okie doke.
Oh, there's one more thing I should warn you about, though.
Oh?
The group sometimes gets referred to as Ise Taira as well, which might make things a little confusing. I'll go ahead and label it all as Hike.
Does it really matter? Aren't they basically the same thing?
Not exactly. You see, the term Ise Taira refers to the Taira clan as a whole because it originated in Ise. On the other hand, people generally refer to the family within the clan that included Tadamori and Kiyomori as simply the Hike. Their family features prominently in the stories we're interested in, so I'll use Hike most of the time, plus it has a nice ring to it.
Either way works for me, so do as you like.
The tale of Hike also used Hike.
You're awfully particular about this, but I rather like that kind of fastidiousness.
Anyway, after a number of events, the Hike would go on to lose the Battle of Dan no Ura and be completely eradicated.
Oh, I believe I know this one. Dan no Ura is found in Kyushu, is it not?
Bingo! The clan was chased out of Kyoto and pushed further and further west until they were eventually wiped out there.
It pains me to think of such a resplendently glorious clan meeting, Okay, resplendently, that's a fun word, glorious clan, meeting such an ignominious fate, or end. More's the pity.
That's right, the Hike's resentment is particularly strong, and many remnants of it remain even today. Shrines and monuments have even been erected throughout the land in an attempt to quell that resentment.
Now we reach your particular field of expertise.
Because the clan fell from such an exalted position so abruptly, that resentment is exceptionally persistent and quite pervasive. That said, famous places related to people like Taira no Kiyomori are well attended by worshippers, so they're relatively stable. It's the puffed up and pretentious Hike clan members that no one even remembers who cause the most trouble.
I seem to recall a number of individuals going so far as to claim that those outside of the Hike clan could not even be considered human. But if that's the case, are we really safe here? Don't you think we might find ourselves assailed by those lingering grudges?
Much of Ise province is protected by shrines and the area is suffused with spiritual energy, so we're probably safer here than in most places. But that's just the land itself. Objects or people that the resentment has seeped into are a different story altogether.
Oh, that's somewhat troubling to hear.
Well, either way you look at it, this region is still home to many places and things associated with the Hike.
Excellent. I believe I've gotten a grasp of the situation at hand. It's time we made our way to the next locale. We're on the clock, after all.
Let's get to it.
We've come all this way to a distant foreign land seeking mermaids. Of course, I have my own reasons for trying to locate the mythical creatures, but for now I intend to scour this land in order to learn as much as I can about its lore and legends. But it occurs to me that I never actually explained the particulars of my Ise Bay mermaid excursion to the girl. No matter, it's nothing of consequence, really, so I'll just introduce my reasons a bit at a time. Okay, Avi. Let's see. Is this great-grandmother be a relative of the main Moonlight family in England, albeit one who had chosen not to succeed? Family estate. I'm pretty sure we touched on this earlier. Let's see. Okay, fantasy author and a cult journalist. They don't sell well. Notable works include The Fiend of Ringgit and The Solar Crow. Okay. Yeah, this feels familiar. This feels familiar. The only other place we can go to is Anno Town. Make our way off the coast. Anno Town and Kusawa. Well, it would seem that we've arrived, and where are we now, Cersei?
This is an area in Anno Town known as Kusawa. Kusawa was quite famous because of the Yao Bikuni legend. I'd be surprised if there was anyone who hasn't heard of it.
I'm sorry to say, I've never heard of it.
You dumb fuck! Wait, really?
Come on now, don't act so shocked. You can't expect me to know every little thing, and besides, I'm not even from this country. The very reason I requested you to be my guide was so you could teach me about the things like this.
I guess that's true. Okay, I understand.
I'll be counting on your explanations. Okay, Anno Town in the Age district so named. Located at the foot of Kyogamani, a mountain with a single 819-meter peak, rather. The land surrounding it is rich in natural splendor, with multiple hot springs swelling forth from the earth around it. From the Edo period around the Meiji period, it was known for being the primary production of shimoji, of delicate fabric. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wait. We got a burb. Mockingbird number 16. It's a penguin, too. The best ones. Penguins are awesome. Little blue.
Oh, the fabled beauty of the serene Japanese countryside. It really is charming.
Oh, yes. The incessant chirruping of locusts combined with unrelenting heat. This is Japanese summer, all right.
It's fascinating to think that such a peaceful place could be home to such profound historical events. I'm practically jittering with excitement.
Is that the same thing as vibrating with motion from that fucking Y2K game? That fucking Yick game? Yick 2 game? Oh, I see that. Let's try to keep a cool head, shall we? Shrine. What's down there? Some sort of shrine?
The shrine is apparently dedicated to Sugawara no Michizane. We should go pay our respects before we leave.
Okay, I guess we're not too terribly interested in the home's furnishings there. As far as the girl is concerned, I suppose I could be considered a guardian of sorts. Even so, I often find myself caught up in her place and completely thrown off guard. If anyone should be shaking things up around here, it ought to be me.
The legend of Yao Bikuni originated here in Kusawa, Anno Town. Long, long ago, a 17-year-old girl named Osato lived in this village. She unknowingly ingested the meat of a mermaid that was served during a village gathering, and became immortal. After subsequently being persecuted by the other villagers, she became a nun and made a pilgrimage around the entire country. At the end of the story, she eventually returned to this village and lived out the rest of her very long life.
Tales told in other parts of the country play out in almost exactly the same fashion.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay, and this is... Okay, so we've been over that. Yeah, that's basically the story that just got relayed to us.
The legend of Yao Bikuni, the girl who ate the flesh of a mermaid and lived for 800 years, has been passed down all over Japan. Not only here in Mie Prefecture's Ano Town, but in Fukui, Aichi, and Gifu Prefectures as well. In total, the story has been found in 121 locations in 28 prefectures throughout the country, or at least that's what certain research has indicated.
Doesn't that seem like a lot? Were there really that many differences in, were there really that many different Yao Bikunis out there?
Obviously, not all the legends can be true. But I actually have a theory on the subject. Would you like to hear it?
By all means.
Most of the legends refer to a woman who stopped aging and lived for 800 years after consuming the meat of a mermaid. At that point, because others would find it strange that she wasn't getting any older, she wasn't able to live in normal society anymore.
I suppose that would be natural. It would explain why she withdrew from the world and became a nun.
Exactly, and that's how she got the name Yao Bikuni, the 800-year-old Bikuni nun. With 800 years on her hands, she could have easily made a pilgrimage around the entire country.
How interesting. Buddhist priests are known for trekking throughout the land as a form of ascetic training.
And if we consider the 121 locations where the legend was found, with 800 years to spare, she could have spent 6 years in each location. 6 years would certainly be enough time for her to make a name for herself in each and every location, right?
Oh, my dear. I believe I see what you're getting at. Your theory posits that the stories of Yao Bikuni that have been passed down in every corner of the country all refer to the exact same individual.
Well, it might be a bit much to say that all of them are the same. There may have been a few different people. But it's more convincing than the theory that there were 121 people. I also think that Yao Bikuni of Wakasa Province is the most likely origin of the legend.
I wonder. Don't all the different instances of the story throughout Japan also claim that particular location as their place of final rest?
That may be true, but I assume that each of those different places wanted to have a grave or some other tangible marker to base the legend on. But would so many people that are purported to have lived for 800 years all die at around the same time? It seems pretty unlikely.
Then you believe some of the tales were embellished somewhat?
That sort of thing happens all the time. Legends are always mixtures of truth and fantasy. Moreover, it doesn't make sense that every single immortal would decide to become a nun. There were likely some places that simply believed Yao Bikuni was the term for an immortal.
Rather than a nun, for all she said, I'ma be none of that, and became an Alma diver. I see what you did, you prick. Tis, you fucker.
Well, that's actually pretty insightful. Many legends are based on simple semantic misunderstandings.
Now wait just a minute, I won't stand there and let my dumb joke actually become a salient point of discussion.
Let it drop, then.
But still, if one were somehow to live for 800 years, a person that became immortal after the Kamakura period could still be alive today.
True, and if so, I'd love to sit them down for a long chat.
Can Kusawa's legend of Yao Bikuni really be true? There must be falsehoods and fictions mixed into that trail, surely.
Who knows? Ise Province isn't that far from Wakasa Province, after all. She may have simply walked there from here, or here from there. The fact that the stories from each different era are so similar does make me wonder if they didn't get mixed together somehow.
Oh, you think the legend may be an amalgamation of stories from the various locations?
Exactly, but then again... The immortal in the story from this location has her own name, which gives the legend a certain, verisimilitude.
Indeed it does.
I guess we can assume that a girl with that name, really did live here long ago. Then something must have happened to make people believe she had become immortal. It's reasonable to assume that her story got mixed up with various legends of Yaobikuni from around the country before being passed down.
Of course, the exact timing of these events is still unclear, but that does present an interesting possibility. She could very well still be living in this village. Wouldn't that be a compelling development?
Leave it to an occult writer to think up something like that.
That's right, you're seeing the prodigious imaginative power of a fantasy author in action.
Yes, it's really something.
We're still going with this shit.
But the fact of the matter is, almost no traces of Yaobikuni remain in this village. Even her grave, which is referred to as Lady Yao's tomb, has never been located.
But then did we come all this way for nothing? Another topic, sure.
Well, it might not have a direct connection, but there is something one should always consider when discussing Issei. The Tales of Issei. Have you heard of it? It's the oldest extant collection of Japanese verse compiled sometime during the Heian period.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with it. But I have heard of the tale of the Genji and the tale of Hike. Is it anything like those?
Well, those were also stories written during the Heian period, but that's where the similarities end. Nice try, though.
Harumph. Well, they sound similar enough. Similar enough, anyway.
Don't worry, I'm not an expert on the subject either. Basically, this collection of verse elaborates on a number of waka poems by giving accounts of the events surrounding each one. The entire collection of the 125 passages is referred to as the Tales of Issei. That's easy enough to remember, no?
The Tales of Issei is a collection of short stories. Check.
One more thing. The title might be The Tales of Issei, but the content isn't all that focused on the actual area.
What's this now? Are they intentionally attempting to confuse and bewilder us?
Some believe that the title comes from the fact that passage 69 is set in Issei Province.
Let's see you come up with something to follow that, asshole. Want to hear you follow that up with a nice.
At any rate, I just thought I should bring it up because it does have at least a slight bearing on the topic at hand. If you're keen to learn more, I'll add more detailed information to the files.
Why, thank you. I'll be sure to read through them later. Okay, 25 episodes, covers the life of a man from his coming of age to his death, and focus primarily on the protagonist and the people around him, particularly his romantic dalliances with women. Okay, some of his most famous episodes are below. Okay, episode 1. Ui Koburi, having come of age, a man sets out on a ceremonial falconry excursion where he catches sight of two beautiful sisters. Infatuated, he cuts off the sleeve of his robe and inscribes a waka poem on it and sends it to them. Okay, episode 6. Akutagawa, a man having finally succeeded in stealing away a beautiful noblewoman, flees with her to a warehouse where they take shelter from the rain. However, the man discovers in the morning that she has disappeared, devoured by a demon that inhabited the warehouse. Should have knocked first. Episode 7. Azumakudari. Feeling despondent about his future, a man embarks on his journey to the east with a group of friends. In Mikawa Province, he catches sight of some beautiful flowers and reflects on far his journey has brought him and recites a poem. In Suruga Province, he sees snow on the peak of Mount Fuji, contemplates the passage of time, and recites a poem. In Musashi Province, he spots an unfamiliar bird on the shores of the Sumida River, recalls his wife and hometown, and recites a poem. His friends all weep upon hearing the latter, moved by his feelings for his faraway home. Okay. Close friends from childhood, that's the Sutsutsu. Okay. Close friends from childhood, a man and a woman exchange poems and are wed. But when the man prepares to travel to faraway Kawachi Province to visit his other lover, the woman displays no hint of displeasure as she sees him off on his journey. Suspicious of her actions, the man hides in their garden and watches as his wife makes herself up as beautifully as she can. But when she then sits down and recites poems out of concern for her traveling husband, he feels a profound shame and decides not to go to Kawachi. Okay, episode 69, Kairi no Tsukai. Having been sent to the Ise province to hunt a game, a man is received with great hospitality by the imperial princess, serving as its priestess at Ise shrine. Attracted to each other, the two attempt to meet in secret, but can find no opportunity to speak intimately. Although they promise one another to meet the following day, it is not meant to be. The two exchange poems of farewell as the man sets out to continue his journey. Episode 95, Hikoboshi. Having fallen in love with a woman who serves in the imperial court, a man finally manages to meet her after patiently waiting for the right moment. However, the two are still separated by a screen. The man recites a poem to her, proclaiming that his love for her is greater than even Hikoboshi's love for Orihime. He compares the screen to separating them to the Milky Way that separated the two legendary lovers. Moved by his words, the woman removes the screen, allowing them to finally meet face to face. Okay. That was a lot. That was kind of a lot.
There is one other thing we can learn from the Tales of Issei. Adding the Tale of to a book really classes things up.
Oh, like Tales of Symphonia. The Tales of series.
You should keep it in mind. It was apparently all the rage during the Heian period.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. My next work is certainly going to be a tale of... Well, then, I suppose that brings this particular subject to a close. On to the next. No rest for the wicked, I say. Time to tackle the next mermaid myth.
Sure.
Hold on. Let's see. Oh, wait, we can move. We can move around. We can have a thinky think. If Yobikuni really did exist, I wonder what sort of life she led. I can't begin to imagine what it would be like to live for hundreds of years. Okay, Utamigaura, we will go there shortly, but I need to step away and do some, natural things. Let me bring up the dancing boys so they can keep you company while I make a quick break for it. BRB, everybody. Alright. Alrighty then. Let us continue. Carry on, carry on, carry on. Okay. So let's put you up there. Alright, good to go, good to go. Over here. Over here. Date unknown. Futamigaura. Alright, who talks first? And here we find our next subject of inquiry. What place might this be, my dear?
This is Futamigaura, the coastline that lies beside Futami Town. It's just over from Issei City.
Oh, then we finally penetrated the outskirts. Did you have to say it that way, man? Penetrated the outskirts of Issei City proper. Things are certainly beginning to heat up. I inferred that Issei City was the prefectural capital from the fact that Mie Prefecture was once known as Issei Province. Not bad, huh?
Oh, well, I can understand how you would arrive at that conclusion. But the truth is, Mie Prefecture is composed of 4 separate provinces: Issei, Shima, Ige, and Ki.
Oh, is that so?
But it doesn't change the fact that Issei City is regarded as the spiritual capital of Japan, making it a very important location.
Very interesting, but the sun has already begun its steady descent, so perhaps we should pick up the pace a bit. Okay, let's see. Probably not gonna get any stickers here, I don't think. Yeah, visually nothing is really popping up at me.
Okay, Futamigaura Sea is famously said to purify the body, so many visitors who come to Issei Shrine come here as well. The scenic beauty of the location has even been featured in poems from antiquity.
Certainly is easy on the eyes. The strands of pine trees along the shore make for quite the striking image.
To make it even better, the embankment we're standing on offers a 360-degree view of Issei Bay.
Makes you want to get out on the very edge to take it all in.
It really does. Being surrounded by the bay like this is such an enchanting feeling. What a breathtaking view.
Just the generic surroundings, option. I guess the sea is included in that as well. Okay, we've said that. We've gone through that already. About the mermaids. Oh, does this place have any legends featuring mermaids?
It does. A record called the Kagenki was written by people at Horiyuji Temple after the Kamakura period. In that record, there are a total of 6 instances of information concerning mermaids.
6, huh? That's certainly promising.
One of those entries describes a sighting here in the Futami Issei Province. On Futami Issei Province on April 3rd during the 2nd year of the Enbun period, which would be 1353.
Oh, so they've even noticed the exact date. How fortuitous.
The passage is as follows. From the sea of Futami in Issei Province came Enmeiju, delivering perpetuity.
So, what exactly does that mean?
Brr. My guess is that a mermaid was spotted in the sea by Futami and it was named Enmeiju, meaning health and long life because it granted longevity.
Oh, it granted longevity, did it? Finally, we're getting to the good stuff.
Yes, it's another account relating mermaids to Yaobikuni. It seems the idea of mermaids granting immortality had already been established at that time.
Indeed. And now we even have a name. So, what sort of mermaid was this, and what became of it?
No clue.
Again, with the vague records, these people write down the appearance of some fantastical creature and just let it wander off.
I haven't personally gone over every bit of research on the matter, but I can't speculate on an answer. Records of mermaids in other places often refer to them by name. In fact, it may not have been all that uncommon for the people in the area to encounter them when these records were written.
So let me see if I follow your meaning. The same mermaid would appear repeatedly, leading people in the area to grow accustomed to it. Am I on the right track?
Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't bother giving a name to something you only saw once, after all. These people have even come to have a kind of rapport with the mermaids. At the very least, it doesn't appear as though they were trying to capture any.
Mermaids that people didn't want to capture. Then they weren't seeking its flesh. Perhaps there was a way of obtaining immortality even without the meat?
Maybe mermaid meat was just really tasty and nothing more. And if that were the case, then it makes perfect sense that they would view the mermaid as a divine creature.
So they treated it as an auspicious being that blessed others with long life. You may be onto something there. Alright,
Okay, this makes me think of that theory you mentioned about there may be two different kinds of mermaids.
Oh, you remembered. I stand by my theory. There's the fish mermaid, which looks more like an aquatic monster or beastie. Beastie boy's always on vacation. And the human mermaid, which resembles a demi-human or nymph.
Indeed, that's the simplest way to describe it anyhow. Assuming the mermaid in question had a name, formed relationships with humans, and granted longevity, it stands to reason it was one of the human mermaid variety.
You have a point. The mermaids we've encountered thus far have all been caught in nets and appear to be more like fish mermaids.
It seems more likely then that the mermaids who grant longevity are actually these human mermaids.
Interesting. That in turn would suggest... My word, would this mean that one could become immortal without eating their flesh?
I'm not sure. There are countless legends that reference the need to consume their flesh. But I can't help but feel like there's more to it. If human mermaids are capable of communicating with us, I'd really like to speak to one.
Agreed. Okay, so hopefully that exhausted that little bit there. Okay, we got the checkpoint there. Oh, speaking of which... This is entirely unrelated, but there's something I've been wondering. Do you mind?
What? But our conversation was just getting good.
Protest all you like, but I shall ask anyway. On our way here, I noticed a certain something adorning the entrances to everyone's houses. What was that?
All right, those are Somin Shorai talismans.
Somin Shorai.
Yes, although in most of Japan they're only hung up around the New Year, but here in Ise Toba Shima region, they're traditionally left up all year long.
Interesting.
I can add more detailed information to the files for you later.
Okay, type of talisman inscribed with the characters Somin Shorai Sishon, meaning descendant of Somin Shorai. These talismans come in a variety of forms, ranging from smaller objects such as paper clips, wooden tags, or hexagonal wooden charms, to larger objects such as hoops made of entwined miscanthus reeds or a shimenawa, sacred ropes used for pure ritual purification. These talismans are generally placed at the doorways of households as a prayer for sound health and to ward off illness. Many households in Ise-shime place Somin Shorai talismans at the entrances of their homes, usually in the form of paper slips or shimenawa, although most families in Japan only put up the whole shimenawa during the New Year. In Ise-shima, they are kept up the whole year round, being replaced once a year on New Year's Eve. The words Somin Shorai originate from the name of the central figure in the legend of the same name, although many versions of the tale exist throughout Japan. The tale is generally told in Ise-shime as follows. On New Year's Eve, the deity Gozu Tenno set out to court the princess of Ryugu. However, when the night fell, he found that none of the nearby inns had a spare room to offer him, and so he turned to two brothers who lived by the sea for hospitality. The wealthy younger brother, Koton Shorai, turned him away despite having the means to accommodate him. The elder brother, Somin Shorai, welcomed Gozu Tenmo in his home, even though he lived in poverty. Pleased by the simple yet heartfelt reception he had received, Gozu Tenno rewarded his hospitality by sparing only Somen Shirai from a plague that ravaged the area next year. Ever since, it is said that hanging a wreath of miscanthus reeds and a charm declaring oneself to be a descendant of Somen Shirai from one's race will offer protection from plagues and illness. This tradition has survived to the present day, where such charms are now used as talismans for good health and well-being. Okay. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. Oh! What is it? What is it now? You're making me antsy. Come now, Circe, you've realized something about those Somen Shirai, didn't you? You must share.
No, nothing like that. It just made me think about how close this area is to the eternal world.
Is it? What does that mean?
You'd already know this from the files, but regarding the Somen Shirai, its origin goes back to a legend about the deity Gozu Tenno, who was courting the princess of Ryugu.
Yeah, I just read that. Ryugu, you say?
That's right, Ryugu was close to this place. In other words, that place is very close to the eternal world. Yes, and furthermore, Gozu Tenno was also the guardian deity of the Gion Shoja temple. The very same Gion Shoja who gets mentioned in our good friend, The Tale of Hike.
So it is. What is it again? From the bells of the Gion Shoja echoes out the impermanence of all things, right? It sounds so cool that I even memorized it. I haven't got a clue what it means, though.
Yes, that's the one. As for its meaning, you can look it up yourself.
Fine, fine. So what you're saying is, Iseshima is a land with deep ties to both Ryugu and the Hike. And that is exactly why the Somen Shirai tradition is so well established here.
Oh, that reminds me. There's something about Ryugu's princess that keeps bothering me as well.
She certainly is mysterious,
That reminds me about, Futami Gaura.
Oh, now it's nighttime. Dear me, how time flies when listening to your lectures, Circe. The sun has already gone down.
I suppose I got carried away, sorry.
Well, if that results in such a lovely view of the sea at night, I'll not complain.
You're right, just look at all those stars.
We are all made of stars. That's a song by Moby. Ah. Okay, she's still here. Oh, I need another sip.
Oh, but we really let time get away from us. Look at how dark it's gotten.
Without the light from the stars above, we'd be lost in pitch darkness. Okay, so that's all. Everything you had to mention there. Are we still talking about...
Oh, there's something about...
Okay, that's the end of that. Let's do the thinky think. Stars speckle the sky as far as the eye can see. Not bad at all. Okay,
If human mermaids are capable of communicating with us, I'd really like to speak to one.
agreed. Okay, so we've kind of run it down there. Unless there's something else we need to... Starry sky, okay. But look, the heavens are entirely enveloped. Enveloped or enveloped? I guess if it's specifically an envelope... Well, maybe it means that. Enveloped in a shower of dazzling pinpricks of light. What a sight to behold. Would you happen to be versed in constellations, Circe?
Well, I've dabbled in a bit of astrology, so I guess I know a thing or two.
Excellent, do tell. Ah. Okay, I guess that's our next, next line of questioning. Talk about constellations.
Well, if we consider the constellations you can see in Japan during summer, the first one that comes to mind is the Summer Triangle. It's an easy one to find.
Triangle, huh? And I presume it is made up of 3 stars?
Correct. Vega in the constellation Lyra, Deneb in the constellation Cygnus, and Altair in the constellation Aquila. This trio of bright stars can be observed close to the Milky Way in this season. Milky Way.
What? I want to see. How do we go about identifying them?
Well, first, low in the southwestern portion of the sky, look for a star that glows red. Antares of the Scorpio constellation.
Southwest, you say? From here, that would mean facing inland and looking to the right.
Okay, try to find a red star low in the sky and point to it.
A red star low in the sky. A red star low in the sky. Okay, that's gotta be you then. Wait, I do believe I've found it. The star just there with the reddish tint. That must be Antares, yes?
Correct, that is indeed Antares, the brightest star in the Scorpio 2 Colt Scorpio constellation.
Aha! I found it all by myself. Why, I'd make quite the celestial cartographer if I do say so myself.
I hate to rain on your parade, but you were supposed to be looking for a star in the summer triangle, so please try again.
Egads, that's right.
Why not try looking straight up from Antares? I bet you'll find Vega at the sky's zenith. Give it a shot.
Okay, so just straight up. Would that be you? There, that must be it.
Bingo, that's Vega, one of the 3 stars in the summer triangle. In Japan, Vega is also called the Orihime star, and is famous for its connection to the Tanabata Star Festival.
And that must mean Hikoboshi will be on the opposite side of the Milky Way from that one.
Exactly right. Can you figure which one it is? One of the other stars in the summer triangle is in the same area, so see if you can find it.
Would that be you? Eureka! I've spotted it!
Ooh, that's Altair, one of the 3 stars in the summer triangle. Part of the Aquila constellation, Altair is also known in Japan as Hikoboshi for its role in the Tantaba Star Festival.
Whoa! That means I've managed to spot both Orihime and Hikoboshi. It's as if I've drawn the 2 star-crossed lovers together with my own hand. How overjoyed they must be.
Yeah, nice work. I didn't expect you to be such a romantic. Still another star in the summer triangle to find. It might be hard to see because of the angle.
Right you are. It certainly is a bit tricky to see something directly above you. Okay, Star. You. If my eye is as discerning as I believe it to be, that's the one.
Oh, nice find. That's Deneb, one of the 3 stars in the summer triangle. Deneb lies within the Milky Way, which earns it the nickname Milky Way Star.
Oh, it does indeed appear to be swimming nicely along in that starry stream. There, I've located all 3 stars of the summer triangle. How do you like that? Gave me the fucking polite golf clap. Oh, that's rich.
Good work. Now you've mastered the summer skies. Should I start addressing you as Professor?
That's me. Feel free to rely on my knowledge.
All right, then, tell me, what is another name for the star Hikoboshi?
I think it was Altair.
That's right. Well done, Professor.
I mean, nothing to it. Regardless, we've seen all there is to see here in Futamigara. I'd even go so far as to call this a wrap. I think that covers all the mermaid legends for Mie Prefecture, but is there anything else here, or anywhere else here you're keen to visit, Circe?
What? We haven't even visited Issei Shrine yet. If you ask me, we've barely scratched the surface.
Oh, you've got a point there, but it's getting late. Let's save that for tomorrow, shall we?
All right.
The next day... Alright. Oh, this is a long-ass flashback, man. Date unknown, August 1980X. He's wearing the same... They're all wearing the same clothes. They're a bunch of smelly motherfuckers. Well, talk about a gorgeous view. It is something, isn't it? This is Mount Asama's observation platform. It overlooks Toba City on one side and Issei City on the other. So that's Toba City over there, huh? What's Toba got going for it? Well, the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about Toba is... Toba Castle, built in the Sengoku period by none other than the pirate daimyo Lord Kuki, who at one time led the Kuki-Nav naval fleet. Ooh, that's more exciting than I anticipated. As for the Tobashima area, it's famous for having the highest population of ama divers in Japan. I knew there'd be something touristy. What a fantastic blend of culture and history. Okay, Mount Azuma, the border between Issei City and Toba City. Hongo Shoji, temple located there. Alright. We read that. I'm gonna try and, like, not dwell on the history lessons too much. Apparently Mount Asama's peak sits at 555 meters above sea level, so it's not that high. But as it's situated at the top of the Shima Peninsula, it offers a magnificent view of Toba Bay's coastline and the outlying islands. Since we stopped by the shrine this morning, I assumed we'd take the mountain path. All I can say is, this place takes my breath away. Okay, alright, so nothing on that side. Okay, and we can't really rotate much further there. I'm not seeing any ducks or burbs. And we'll talk about the Navy. Okay. Sip again. First off, you should know that the naval troops in the Sengoku period were basically just pirates. Pirates, eh? Yes, they would put together crews of rowdy sailors, arm them to the teeth, and have them patrol a designated area of the sea. They only actually served under their commander as a naval force when there was a battle. So that's what the Navy was like back then, hmm? A ragtag bunch of pirates only called to do their duty in times of need. Exactly. In fact, such forces only came to be called navies during the Edo period, and that was purely a matter of convenience. As for the Kuki Navy... Kuki or Kukai? Or Kai would be like K-A-I. We're calling him Kuki. The creepy and the kooky, they're all together spooky. It was one of the pirate bands patrolling the waters of Issei Bay. A man named Kuki Yoshitaka was its commander, hence the name. He distinguished himself in the service of Oda Nobunaga and Toyotomi Hideyoshi, eventually rising to the position of daimyo of Shima province. That's why they called him the Pirate Daimyo. He started as a lowly pirate but rose all the way up to the top of the chain of command. Did you say Oda Nobunaga? I've heard of him. He was the Demon King of the Sixth Heaven, no? True, but that's a title he gave himself. Still a pirate and a daimyo. What an enchanting combination. That may be, but he wasn't blessed where allies were concerned. It seems he was always butting heads with his relatives. Oh? For one thing, he may have had his nephew, Sumitaka, assassinated in order to take over the Kuki clan. He also fought on the opposite side to his own son, Moritaka, in the decisive battle of Sekigahara. And in the end, spurred on by his vassals, he committed suicide in Toshijima, that island over there. So while Kuki became daimyo of Shima province, his land was confiscated during his son's rule, and the clan fell into decline. Life truly is full of ups and downs. How the mighty do fall. Must have been quite a character. We're still talking about pirates. Yes, we are. That reminds me, there's another fascinating legend related to the Kuki clan. Oh, do tell. It's about Kuki Yoshitaka's nephew, Sumitaka.
He had an extraordinarily beautiful daughter named Princess Hatsune.
Is that where they got the green-haired one from? Is that what she's named after? I wonder. I dare say I know where this is going. Whenever a legend starts with a beautiful daughter, it inevitably ends in trouble.
Ah, you're not wrong there. Princess Hatsune was so beautiful that she saw no end of suitors, and her father sought to marry her off to achieve his political ends. But the princess already had a lover, so she fought against her father's plans, and even ran away several times, only to be brought home.
I knew it. Alas, that's what life was like for the daughters of powerful figures in those days.
Well, Princess Hatsune lamented her fate. Must I be cursed with such misfortune, merely for my beauty? And she didn't stop there. May no beautiful daughter be born to this land again. Such was the curse she left behind before throwing herself down a well.
Did Hatsune Miku ever do a song about a well? Or ever sing a song, or have one of her, like, on-stage performances involving a well?
And so ends the legend.
Not what I'd call a happy ending. The princess may have had good intentions, but I'm sure no one else felt she was doing them any favors.
Good intentions? That isn't how I interpreted it.
Well, what's your take on the story, then?
When an authority figure tries to force other people's hands, they bring these things upon themselves. It's just asking to get cursed.
Fair enough. I see your point.
Still, the princess did take it a bit far. To me, though, it almost feels like that part was tacked on later. As if someone thought it would make the story more impactful, and that word of travel further, if the princess killed herself at the end.
Oh, you're right. That would change the story completely.
But there is something else that interests me more. Sumitaka became head of the Kuchi clan in 1560, but he was so young that Yoshitaka had to be appointed as his guardian. His exact age at the time isn't known, but the common belief is he was about 8 years old.
Nothing unusual there. Premature inheritances were a common occurrence in those days.
But consider this, when Sumitaka died 24 years later, in 1584, he would have been 32 years old.
Yes?
Even if we suppose that Princess Hatsune was 15, their ages don't quite add up, do they?
Age differences weren't so much a point of contention back then, but even so, that is a bit odd.
Which begs the question, did Princess Hatsune really exist to begin with?
And even if she did, was she really Sumitaka's daughter?
And Agate Magatama was unearthed at the place where the princess was supposedly buried. Well, that could have easily been planted there to lend credibility to the tale.
Well, once you start doubting, it's hard not to see lies everywhere.
True, and the pursuit of the unknown starts with belief, doesn't it?
Well said.
A certain occult researcher taught me that one.
You don't say. What are we looking for here? Kuki clan, Sumitaka, Princess Hatsune. Drowned her, threw her in a well in sorrow, prayed their last breath. Okay. Yeah, that essentially covered it. Alright, are we still...
Oh, I just realized something. Ukisuke Sumitaka died or was assassinated exactly 400 years ago.
Is that significant?
It is. A special spiritual significance is attached to periods of 400 years. For instance, the cycle of death and rebirth supposedly lasts 400 years, and some stories claim that a soul endures for 400 years. Of course, 800-year immortals have twice that lifespan, but as you can see, 400 years is widely considered a good cutoff point.
So there's a chance that something happens after 400 years?
Maybe. In any case, we should probably tread carefully here.
It sounds to me as if we're in the right place at the right time. Okay, we got the check mark there. Alma Divers. Back to Alma Divers. We haven't spoken about them in a bit. Okay. Wait for the water to go down.
Ama divers have a long history in the Tomashima region. Evidence indicates that free divers have been fishing in the area since ancient times.
You don't say.
Most notably, it's said that Oben, who once presented an abalone to the Yamato Hime no Mikoto, was the very first Ama diver.
Yeah, we went over this at the very start of the game with Yuza and Azami. So we're sort of bringing that back around. Hold on, another sip.
In fact, there is a shrine dedicated to Oben in Kazaki that is considered a sacred place to Ama divers of the Tomashima region.
Is that so? She must have been truly legendary.
Moreover, there are several poems in the famous 8th century poetry anthology, Maniyoshu, that depict the Ama diving in Shima province. Ama divers also appear in dozens of,
How do I do this?
ukiyo-e from the Edo period. Clearly, they were a popular theme.
It's quite incredible to think that their method of fishing has not only endured for so long, but has also been recorded in such exquisite detail.
There is another point worth noting. Ama divers have long been likened to mermaids for their skill and grace. You could even argue that the Ama diver culture is so deeply rooted in this place, it is interwoven with the region's mermaid legends.
Yes. There's a theory that the mermaids of Issei Bay were simply Ama divers.
It does seem there's likely a connection between the two. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the originators of the legend.
Perhaps, but I'd be beyond disappointed if that's all there is to it.
Oh, right.
There we go.
By the way, there's another legend surrounding the Ama divers of the Tomashima region regarding something called the Tomokazuki.
The Tomokazuki. Okay, back to the old hole again.
It is believed that an Ama diver may encounter a copy of herself underwater, who will then offer her an abalone. If she accepts, the Tomazaki doppelganger will drag her to the bottom of the sea, never to be seen again.
Ugh, Cersei, please don't bring scary stories on me like that. Out of nowhere.
That's why the Ama divers of this area wear the Seimin and Domin symbols of them on them while they dive. It's a tradition that has continued right up to the present day. There must be some reason for it beyond pure superstition.
Interesting.
On another note, the Ama divers of the Tomashima region possess such exceptional diving skills that, in addition to fishing, they also saved people from drowning and fetched objects that had sunk to the seafloor, right up until the Meiji period.
Or era. Well, it sounds like they were true diving professionals.
Exactly. In fact, after the Heike were defeated at Dan no Ura and were lost beneath the waves...
Oh, we're back to the Heike already. I wasn't aware there was a connection.
Well, after that fateful battle, who do you think they sent to reclaim the legendary sword Kusanagi no Tsurugi from the seafloor? 2 Ama divers.
Aha! So their lost and found surfaces were being employed even back then, huh?
And while they were diving, they came face to face with the vengeful spirits of the drowned Heike.
Oh, Sisei, please, you're going to give me nightmares.
At least that's what's depicted in the ukiyo-e entitled, "In the Western Sea, the diving women encounter the Heike in the depths of the water."
Such a deep connection. To think the Heike were even once depicted with Ama divers. They truly are a symbol of the Issei Shima region.
Yes, but the setting for that ukiyo-e is Den no Ura, which isn't anywhere near here. Still, it does go to show that Ama divers have held a deep connection to the sea for a very long time. And when we're talking about Tomashima region, Ama divers are going to be key players.
True, if you ask me, they should be brought up before the pirates.
Mind you, the Navy had a crucial role to play, too.
Right, well, as fascinating as all of this has been, Circe, I'd say it's high time we return to our primary topic of interest here.
Oh, and what would that be? Personally, now that we've visited Issei Shrine, I'm more or less satisfied.
Tut. Cersei, you disappoint me. We didn't come here purely to chase legends, did we?
Oh, and here I was hoping we could move on to buying souvenirs next.
You know perfectly well that the true purpose of my voyage is nothing more or less than a treasure hunt.
Right.
Of course, I'm sure all this information we've been gathering will come in handy as well. First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. Alright. Okay, got that bit of backstory. What are you placing in front of me now? Okay, Treasure Hunt Part 1. Let's go, After collecting information about mermaids and returning to their inn, Avi and Cersei have a meeting to plan for their true objective, the treasure hunt. Here we go. Date unknown. Okay, we can probably look for another thingamadooter here. Okay. Now then, I believe it is time we discuss our strategy.
Sure, what do you mean by strategy?
It should be obvious. We must reflect on all we've learned if we want to move forward. Okay, gotta look. See if there's a bird. A birdie here. This is the, Murakumote. It's a small inn located in Toba. It's a laid-back inn that feels more like a private residence than a hotel, thanks to the attentive staff. I could barely count all the different fresh fish we were served for dinner last night. I have not felt so full in a while. Okay, what other things can we look at? Hanging scroll. A hanging scroll perfectly complements the tatami room.
This room may not have a dedicated alcove, but the scroll really ties the room together. How lovely!
Mosquito repellent. Each room is equipped with a mosquito trap. They tend to come in through the windows on hot days. It's a neat contraption. You just have to plug it in and place it, and it will kill any nearby mosquitoes. Traps like these are reliable and easier than the combustible type, so they've gotten quite popular. Okay. Poster. This is a poster advertising the island of Kamishima.
I'd love to pay a visit to a remote island like that. The name is intriguing, too.
Ah, Kame means turtle, doesn't it? It's a poster of Kamishima.
I just can't shake this weird feeling.
Oh, why?
Is there something wrong with the island or the poster?
Who was it? Oh, is there something wrong with the island or the poster?
Oh, the poster, I believe. Do you mind if I take a closer look? My hunch was right. There is a presence here.
No way. Come on, don't scare me like that. Ready?
Yes, please proceed.
You sure? Because I'll do it. I really will. There's no telling what may happen.
It's stalling.
Herc. Okay, there you are. There he is. Mockingbird number 3 located. And you are Dawn Heron. Okay. Towel hanger. It may resemble an L-shaped dividing screen, but I actually think this is a towel rack.
Oh, you're close. It is a small clothes rack.
I see, so that's what it is.
Yes, normally it's used to hang kimonos, but this one is quite small. So I suppose it'd work well for towels and other garments.
You're a towel. Okay. Atmospheric lighting. Extra lights for the room. A lot of attention was paid to creating a comfy atmosphere for the guests. Okay, briefcase. My bag, a faithful travel companion of several decades. Light is passing through the windows. It's hot outside, so I'll leave them closed. We got flowers up here. Dried flowers, I suppose. This is the embodiment of the Japanese concept, wabi-wabi, or however you say it. So Cersei's not gonna correct him there. Can we comment on the tatami? What else can we look at? Is that it? I worried yesterday that Circe might struggle to sleep on a futon in a tatami room like this, but she looks well rested, so I suppose she's used to it. I, on the other hand, was too excited to get much sleep. Okay, research materials. Some of the notes I have taken, the information in them is not substantive and likely of no use. Business card. Oh, was this the business card from the guy we met earlier? It is. We managed to glean some surprisingly good information from that exchange. Oh, okay, we're flashing back to this. First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. Who is that? Is that... I don't know who this is. Pardon me, but would the lovely lady and handsome gentleman be willing to spare me a moment? Why, yes, the gentleman does have some time. I suppose it makes me a lady, then, huh? Oh, it's you. You've been following me for quite some time. Huh? He has? For how long? Since the Issei Grand Shrine, I believe. Truly? Maybe you could try to keep me appraised of things like this in the future, Circe. It appears I wasn't as stealthy as I thought. My apologies for the indiscretion. But, you see, the two of you piqued my interest. Foreigners in Issei Bay searching for mermaids. Ugh. Oh, you overheard everything. How embarrassing. The hollering won't lessen the embarrassment. But how rude of me. I ought to introduce myself. Ikoma, okay. I'm an event planner here in Issei City. My name is Kippei Ikoma. Oh, a fancy business card and everything. What a charming fellow. Let's see, Sala Planning, eh? And it says you're the CEO. I'm actually the only employee, so the title doesn't mean much. I see. I apologize for the rudeness, but I actually just ran out of business cards of my own. Did you ever have any? I heard you need to carry business cards in Japan if you want to avoid looking suspicious, but I still forgot to bring any. But the freewheeling and forgetful man before you goes by the name Arnav Barnum, a fantasy author who's merely passing through. Do you believe me? Am I too suspicious? Without a business card for proof, the verdict is yours alone to make. So you're an Arthur, Mr. Barnum. Please, call me Avi. This here is Circe. She has studied more Japanese history than even the average Japanese citizen. It's a pleasure. If you'd like, I can list the top 100 of Issei's best features at any time. Aren't you a delight? I was right to take an interest in the two of you. Okay. Ikoma. Someone else with that last name? Okay, director of Sala Planning, a venture company primarily focused on planning and producing tourism promotion events in Issei City. An ambitious young man, Kippei, is both highly driven and extraordinarily tenacious when it comes to fulfilling his goals. He is currently planning a PR project themed on mermaids as a sightseeing attraction. Do you think... You think he's involved with the party goods, i.e. the mirror, that's been causing everyone problems? About 6 years ago, with the support of wealthy tycoon Yoshiatsu Yamashina, Kippei moved to Issei from the countryside with nothing but the clothes on his back and an eye to making his fortune. This aggressiveness won him... I guess aggression wouldn't be a perfect synonym for that, would it? This aggressiveness won him Yamashina's favor, and after several years, Spent building up his experience as his assistant, the tycoon granted Kipei an investment with which he started his current company. Although Yamashina could be said to be particularly strict with him, this is a reflection of the high expectations he has for his future. Kipei is often told that he looks old for his age, but as this means he is not taken lightly when doing business, he sees this as an advantage. Forgive me for my bluntness, but would you mind sparing me a few moments? I'd love to talk a little longer. I suppose that could be arranged. Okay, any birds here on the outside? Kinda hot to be wearing a suit, don't you think? Gusts of wind graze this lovely observation deck. What do you think, Circe?
Feels like a scammer who just targets foreign tourists.
Quite the blunt one, aren't you, young lady? Okay, so let's dig into him. So this young man is actually a CEO, although I'm not sure I'd call him young. His gaze has a piercing quality to it, and there's something off about his smile. Everything about him feels older than he looks. The truth is, I'm currently planning a promotional tourism campaign for the Isashime region. I was thinking of using mermaid legends as the centerpiece of the campaign. Mermaids, huh? I am sure you are already quite aware of the mermaid legends of Ise Bay, yes? I thought we could hold events and exhibitions centered around such legends to attract tourists. I see. So that's why you are interested in mermaids. Additionally, the Isashima region is also famous for its pearls. I believe mermaids and pearls naturally complement one another.
True, there is also the famous legend when a mermaid's tears turn into pearls when they are washed away by the ocean.
Oh ho! Such a story would do wonders for driving tourism to the area. I made a funny. Does this project mean you are knowledgeable about mermaids in Ise then, Mr. Ikoma? I suppose it does. I know a fair bit. For example, there are some mermaid legends that most people have never heard of. Oh, do share. A long time ago, there was an island south of Kamishima known as Taishima. Have you heard of it? I'm afraid I haven't.
It rings a bell. It was also called Taishima by some.
That's absolutely right. It said that once upon a time, 3 mermaids lived on Taishima. Wow, 3 of them? Tell me, were they human mermaids or fish mermaids? Human mermaids? Well, I suppose their upper bodies were human, so I suppose you could describe them as such. I see. And that would separate them from the 3 mermaids discovered in Betsuho during the Heian period.
Oh, this is the first I've heard of this tale.
However, Taishima sunk about 400 years ago during a natural disaster. The mermaids seem to have vanished after that. What? That's such a shame. Regardless, it said that the 3 mermaids were named Sobe, Nagame, and Hayase. Well, the mermaids were named too, huh? That definitely adds to the authenticity of the story.
Pardon me, Mr. Ikoma. I never came across such concrete information. Where did you learn this?
I don't blame you for questioning my sources. I also haven't managed to find any records of this tale. You see, the story was passed down through word of mouth. As it turns out, there was a single man who managed to escape the island's destruction. His descendants have kept the island alive. Aha! So it's one of those descendants you heard the story from. Yeah, that's right. They live a modest private life these days.
When the story comes straight from a descendant like that, it does lend it some credibility.
I would love to inquire deeper about these Taishima mermaids. If you don't mind, could you share the identity of this descendant you speak of? My apologies, but I'm afraid I cannot oblige. She is not the friendliest sort. Frankly, even I have trouble getting her to open up. No matter how many times I visit her, I always feel like I am only getting part of the story. I see, that's a real shame. Now, this might not be much consolation, but
I have another interesting rumor from this descendant to share.
Oh, I'm all ears.
It concerns one of the rumored Taishima mermaids. It is said that a few decades ago, one of those mermaids turned human, and now lives among us.
Amogus!
She became human?
It does ring a bell, though. Why, that is exactly like the story of the Little Mermaid. What an exciting discovery.
You say this was only a few decades ago? That makes it quite recent. This former mermaid could even be walking among the people here as we speak. If the story is true, then yes. However, I'll concede that even I find the story hard to believe.
It is a little fantastical.
By the way, may I ask why you're searching for Issei Bay's mermaids, Avi?
No particular reason, I just thought it'd be fun to wander through some sightseeing areas related to the mermaid folklore. That's all.
I see. Well, since you've traveled all the way to Japan to sightsee, I'd love to ask you some questions. Was there anything missing from the areas you visited that you might think you've made your trip more enjoyable? That you think might have made your trip more enjoyable?
What about those photo spots you put your face in?
I know those! I love them! Really? Are they that interesting?
They're a Japanese tourism classic. It would be nice to see more of them.
Agreed. If I saw one, I would certainly take a photo with it. Oh, and please sell more of those little pennant flags. I can't resist them.
Okay, he's doing a little market testing. He's doing some market testing with a focus group of 2. That's great.
I see. I truly appreciate the input, but perhaps things are fine as they are. Should you discover anything new regarding the area's mermaids, please let me know.
Understood. We'll hope you'll do the same for us. Okay, he's all talked out. I believe these oversized suits, known as soft suits, are currently quite popular in Japan. Perhaps he is trying to be taken seriously as a CEO. He certainly is putting a lot of effort into his appearance. Amazing! A brand new mermaid legend!
The real question is why?
Why?
There's a long history of people making up legends to drive tourism. Such stories linger on despite their veracity being entirely unverifiable.
I suppose.
Is something the matter?
It's nothing.
It's nothing. Well, it is about time for us to get going.
Yes, of course, thank you, and I apologize again for taking so much of your time. Actually, since you've come all the way to Japan... If anything happens to you during your vacation here, or you need any other help at all, please feel free to give me a call. I am quite familiar with all sorts of businesses in the area. For example, I could put you in touch with someone you should be looking to interview Alma divers. Or should you be looking to interview Alma divers?
Oh, really? That's very kind. You're not just saying it as a formality, are you? A free-spirited lad like myself will not hesitate to take you up on an offer like this. I will call you.
Please do not hold back. I'll leave you two to your sightseeing. Please have a good time.
Whoosh! And away he goes. If mermaids really did live on Taishima, it's certainly worth investigating. This is the sketch of the mermaid mummy that I found in our family storage. Bringing it along would have been out of the question, so I settled on bringing just a sketch. Oh, that's right. I still haven't told Circe why I'm searching for mermaids. Get the research materials, the business card, ashtray. A porcelain ashtray that came with the room. Ashtrays like these are found just about anywhere, so one can smoke without any worries. Well, aside from the cancer and heart disease and emphysema and all that shit. That being said, I've noticed people outside still simply dropping their cigarettes onto the ground. Well, I wasn't a smoker to begin with. Good for you, buddy. Research materials. Okay, map.
This map looks quite old.
Exactly. It is also the precise reason I have come to Mie. To put it simply, this is no ordinary map. This is a mermaid treasure map.
A mermaid treasure map?
Allow me to explain. I found this mermaid treasure map in the family's storage. I should explain it to Circe. More research materials, business card. It's a Como's business card. He's the CEO of an event planning company we ran into earlier. Didn't he say he was just an employee? Okay, let's talk to Circe. I will go over the map first. I found this map in the old family storage. It was left behind by my great-grandmother.
If she's your great-grandmother, that would make her my great-grandmother's sister. I heard she was exiled from the Lunar Light family because of her eccentricities.
Well, that's correct. She was quite fond of the occult and amassed a number of suspicious curios over her lifetime. As a child, I loved searching through the storehouse that housed her collection. It was like a treasure hunt of wonders, a demon's tail, a yeti's bone, a book of black magic, Ogopogo's tooth, a piece of a UFO, a crystal skull. I cannot vouch that any of it was authentic, but it was still so exciting to look through. There's no exaggeration that when I say this very storehouse is what led me down the path of becoming a fantasy author.
I suppose that's the kind of a formative experience that an occult writer needs.
Just so. I have to thank my own great-grandmother. She's the reason I can put food on the table. And among the items in that collection was this.
I see a mermaid mummy.
Precisely. They were rather prevalent at sideshows and all the like all over the world in the 19th century. Mermaid mummies from Japan were quite popular because of their high quality. A number of them even made their way to Europe.
Huh.
This one probably made its way to the family storage around that time. Probably passed down from one seller to another until it ended up in my great-grandmother's hands.
How are you so sure it was made in Japan?
Well, you see, I gave this mummy a thorough investigation. I even took it apart. Sure enough, it was made of wood and paper clay. But, lo and behold, I got hiccups now. Hold on. Alright, hiccup's gone. Hiccup's gone. Oh, but lo and behold, I also found this map inside.
Truly, you found the map inside a mummy?
Whoever made it all those years ago must have snuck a map inside. I doubt my great-grandmother had the slightest idea it was even in there.
That's an incredible discovery.
It is simply tantalizing, is it not? There is not a doubt in my mind that this will lead to a most thrilling discovery. Okay, we still gotta talk about the map. El Mapo, La Mapa.
So then why did you call this a mermaid treasure map?
Well, it was hidden inside a mermaid mummy, so it follows there must be a treasure map of sorts, no?
I see, your enthusiasm has carried you quite a ways from home. I am impressed.
Oh, thank you. I have no doubt our treasure lies somewhere in Issei Bay. What a shame there is no X to mark the spot. Oh, damn it. Who said that line?
What a shame there is no X to mark the spot.
Indeed, and this leads us to our first conundrum. Any ideas how to decipher this map, Circe?
Put me on the spot, why don't you? But it does look like something is written here. Do you know what it says?
Oh, that part. I actually did some research on that. Apparently it says, search the 95th.
Search the 95th? That sure makes it sound like it leads to a secret location of some sort.
Yes, and it must be related to mermaids. Aren't you just itching to find it?
You know it!
I knew it. I'm counting on you to help me solve the map's riddle. That's a very specific number to bring up. Because... No, not that. What the piss am I looking for? Shima... No, not you, not you. The Shirai... Not that. No, not that. No, the long-ass... The Tales of Issei. 95. Okay, having fallen in love with the Imperial... Do they mean episode 95? So do we look up at the sky... and then base... We're gonna look up at the sky again. Because that's the one that mentions constellations, so that's gonna play a role. Oh wait, I just remembered. Huh? You said you can douse, no? Can't you just douse for the treasure? And we can skip this whole map and riddle business together.
I apologize, but that's impossible.
Good call. Truly, but why?
Dousing is usually used to find waterways, veins of ore, and other such things. By dousing, however, can be used to find people and objects imbued with spiritual power. However, I must be familiar with the spiritual power that I'm looking for.
I see. In other words, you wouldn't be able to find a treasure that you've never seen or heard of.
Yes, the distance from which I detect the source also depends on how strong the spiritual power is.
Oh, it's not quite the superpower I thought it was.
I say we've had enough of a diversion. Let's get back to investigating your map.
Okay, let's talk about the map. Alright, let's take a good look.
Oh?
Did you notice something?
Looks like something's written on the other side.
I see, I knew I must have missed something. Should carefully hold the edge when I want to look at the other side. Oh, wait. It's 1, 2, 3. It's mimicking the constellation. Oh, it's a map of Issei Bay. Judging from its condition, it's quite old.
If I were to guess, I would say it is over 100 years old. No, perhaps even more than 200 years old. I wonder how old it actually is.
I'm pretty sure it's mimicking the constellations because we put it up to the light. Eureka! Inspiration strikes! I figured it out!
Did you? Where is the treasure?
I have no doubt. It is here, behold.
Oh, why there?
It felt right.
I hope you don't mind my asking, but would you care to show me a more definite location?
Dang it. I may be less inspiration struck than I first assumed. I'll have to think on this one a bit more.
Look closer, isn't that Taishima?
You're right. It depicts an island to the south of Taishima. Okay, it's safe to assume this map was made before Taishima sank then.
That makes it over 400 years old and made during the Sengoku period. Incredible!
Okay,
Yes, the map is very lovely and see-through. Are you sure that's the spot, though?
no, these positions should correspond with the, Okay, the phrase search the 59th is, The phrase search the 95th is written on the map around the location of Ise Province. Search the 95th. Okay. Yeah, that's in Tales of Ise. And we've got Hikoboshi. Yeah, that's the star in question. And finally manages to meet her. Ultra Society. Summer Triangle. It would be... Wouldn't it be this one? Okay, it's the one pointing out. Hikoboshi, 95th. Pull it up to the light. Okay, it's the one probably... These two are closer together. This one's kind of stuck out. Okay, so maybe... this one? Enter the name of the location. Can I pull up the name? Alright, Okay, Hikoboshi. Hikoboshi. Oh, allow me to explain, you see. The 95th in the riddle must refer to the 95th tale in the Tales of Ise, and the title of that tale is none other than Hikoboshi. Next, note how the Summer Triangle constellation is drawn on the back. The location of Hikoboshi, or Altair, corresponds to this very spot on the map.
Incredible! I should have expected nothing less. You truly are a genius, Avi.
Nothing compares to the rush of a breakthrough. Let's keep riding this high.
We may know where to look, but it's far too large an area to just start searching.
Okay, we can talk about the mermaid search then. To be frank, I didn't come here just to solve the map's riddle. My real goal is to find an actual mermaid.
Oh yes, I had a feeling that was it.
So, you already knew. Exorcists sure have some keen instincts.
What will you do if you find a mermaid? Do you want to become immortal?
I suppose. Might as well, considering all the trouble finding one will be.
Your reasoning is unexpectedly uninspired.
Simple, though it may be. I find the idea quite romantic, akin to ascending a new stage of humanity.
Sure, I guess.
I take it you disagree with my thinking, Cersei?
I fail to see why
Another sip.
I fail to see why my opinion should matter here. What you do is your decision to make. Though I am not certain that an immortal can still be called human. Still, your decision is irrelevant to my duty, so I will try not to interfere. Actually, meeting an immortal might be a rare once-in-a-lifetime chance. Please transcend humanity and let me examine you.
I'd prefer if you didn't speak of me like a research specimen, but I'll overlook it for now.
Though I do wonder if immortality would actually bring you any happiness. When you look at old folks' tales, it tends to be less of a blessing and more of a curse.
Jeez, don't say that after I already made up my mind and everything.
Well, I'm sure you'll be alright. If you tire of immortality, you need only embark on a journey like a modern-day Yaobi Kuni.
That is one way to look at it, though I think the nun part might be an issue. Well, I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. There's no immortality to be had till I find mermaid flesh to bite into. So, let's start there.
Understood. I'm also quite interested in finding a mermaid myself.
Okay.
Okay, even if we were to search the area on the map.
Okay. Okay, what was that?
Looking for an unknown object somewhere on the large swath of a seafloor seems like an impossible task.
You're right, that does sound difficult. We might have to ask our friendly CEO for help.
He did give us his card. However, wouldn't that mean we'd have to inform him of the map?
No other way about it. In addition, should we find anything, I imagine he'll expect a share of the spoils. I really wanted to keep it all to myself. Sharing is the worst.
I understand, but we have no other options.
It's a shame, but I suppose you're right. We should contact him as soon as we can. Please, please. Oh, it opened up again. Another treasure hunt. Okay. You know what? I'm starting to feel it in my throat, and I don't want to push it too far. So we will call it here. Call it a stream for now. Which means I'm gonna have to make more thumbnails for this shit. But anyway, thank you for dropping in. Thank you to everyone who dropped by, lurked, kept to themselves, endured in silence, etc., etc. Let's see if we got any raid targets. Tell you what, we'll go give Katrina Kit Kat. We'll go pay Kit Kat a visit. Per usual, she is streaming Final Fantasy XIV online, so we will be heading in her direction shortly. Over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I imagine I'll be doing more of this as well. I wanna see if I can knock out this game this weekend. So, we'll be on our way to Katrina's stream, and until next time, everybody, until next time, this is Poncho Smith signing off, and as always, good night, good luck, and I will catch you all in the next one. Later.